It is time, y'all, to talk about the better decks of the week, and we have 10 decks that are doing well throughout all these tournaments. Just look at the numbers here on the side of the folks that are pouring in. So let's go ahead and dive right on into the first one. Then we got this. It looks like, y'all, Mega Kangaskhan might be one of the better megas that we've seen or have gotten in a little bit, because this card has some versatility. We're seeing up here Greninja and Oricorio getting that added punch that it needed. Greninja being able to run this deck with dual energy. You're able to stall out your opponent with a double Oricorio, your Water Shuriken, and pinging things away. You're stalling out their EXs, you're bringing the non-EXs up front, being able to attack them with the Oricorio for 70 damage or even going to that 80 if you need to. But now with the Mega Kangaskhan, y'all, you're getting now that added punch. You can still whittle them down or hit them right away for that 120 damage, especially if you have that Greninja out there. You're hitting for 140, and so that extra additional energy that you needed, or extra additional damage that you needed with Giovanni or with Red, you can now get that with Mega Kangaskhan here, with your double Greninjas there. As well too. So this has been really crazy to see just how much of this deck has been upgraded. It really was like kind of like a B tier deck, right? Like you can definitely play it, see some improvement, but to see it skyrocket and be undefeated currently in the day one of the largest tournaments that Fantastical Parade has had up to date. It's pretty cool. I really do like that, and I'm excited to try this out for myself. Then we go into our Hydreigon. Hydreigon is still a powerful deck. I mean, when you're able to turn 2 hit for 130 with literally no consequence, there's no problem with it. So this variation, and there's going to be another variation we're going to be talking about shortly, but this variation here is running the one Furfrou. Again, you have an opportunity here to be able to attack babies right away and clear them out, be able to tank some damage with the -20 and the Rocky Helmet to deal some of that right back, and while you're using that to find your pieces. If you have the Dino and the Hydreigon, you can just continue to just pour up, and you do that there. With all the Hydreigon players, they typically find their Hydreigon on turn 2, so you having this in here is totally fine. This could be in replace of, you know, like a Chingling, right? Like, so the amount of Pokemon still feels right in terms of how much they are in this deck, but you're using Furfrou as a defensive wall to help you build up your Pokemon. And it's crazy that a 70 HP Mon is a defensive unit, but when you have a Fur Coat ability to take that -20 damage, you're able to do so. You still can do some crazy things with Absol, setting yourself up with a Cyrus for a win late game. You can disrupt your opponent's hand continuously with that Mega Absol EX, and then DDD here is just meant to heal up. With actually the amount of Pokemon that are in here, the percentage of getting that in DDD is like 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 out of 8%. So you're looking at a 12.5% chance here of being able to start in DDEX. So like it feels good. It feels good. Double Copycat gets you what you need by turn 2, mid-latest turn 3. I kid, but like that's literally how it feels when you're going against this as well. And seeing how folks are still leaning on this card just kind of shows how much of a unit it is. And it gets more of a power boost, right? Like this is going to continue to stomp out Psychic decks, right? And Psychic decks got this like huge boost with like Mega Gardevoir, Peculiar Plaza. And so you're just eating. You're just eating with this deck here. And another dark type deck that you get to eat with is none other than Crobats. This also is very powerful, right? You're jumping into like the idea of being able to go first with your Zubat, Rare Candy into Crobat, hit for 70. Their basic is gone. Just gone. Just straight up is gone. Their basics are typically 60, or if they're doing some EX basics, they're getting chipped away with the poison barb damage, and so they have to retreat immediately. So going into some Crobat shenanigans is very powerful. And then with, again, like we just mentioned with Hydreigon, with all of the Psychic decks that want to run around, this is really nice for you. And you also get to deal with things like Oricorio here, because you get to poison, and then you can poison for 10, you can poison with 20 with Golbat, you get to stack double the damage. So now they're taking 30 per turn. If they try to hit you out, you still survive, right? Because all of these are only weak to fighting. So that gives you opportunity here. You have plenty of answers to the Oricorio shenanigans. So that feels really nice to play into. That poison stacking damage is literally no joke, and there's not a lot of answers to it, right? Like steel is what like stops the poison from happening, and we're you know, spoiler alert, not seeing a lot of steel decks in like these top fours in these decks in these tournaments from this past week. So this is really strong, and again, you get to go into your Crobat and then even attack with another Crobat and still have a Mega as your backhold, as your backup here. Being able to do this poison and then clear out any Cyruses or Sabrinas that they have, so that way your Crobat can stay safe after it gets damaged, is really nice. We continue the poison. Poison is a very strong condition here, but we settle this with the Hydreigon. We just talked about the Hydreigon. We talked about the impacts of poison. Now you put them together, you have this build. This version of the deck has been seeing a little bit of like, it performed better just for this week, but consistently have been seeing a lot of this version ending of the last meta coming into this meta. So we'll keep an eye out on which one is edging out more. It's really, again, just kind of feeling like what you want to play around with. Do you want to take advantage of poison, or do you just want to be more aggressive, right? Like this is more of an aggressive play style. This one is more like, hey, let me chip you down kind of thing with the poison. And again, we saw this take a spike in usage and popularity towards the end of our last meta, and so we'll see where this kind of lands out here with that. But same gameplay. Get to your Hydreigon, follow up with your Mega Absol. Just, you really don't want to attack with Nihilego. Kind of just want it there on the bench, so that way you can get that poison stacks up. So these poison barbs on the Hydreigon, or even on your Mega Absol, if that ever needs to get to that point, is just what's going to drive this poison stacking going down further. But if you want to go all in, this is passive poison and this is active poison, right? Like you get to deliver the poison with the attack instead of hoping that your opponent attacks you, where like for here, they have to attack you in order for that to pop off, or like you need your poison barb, right? Like you need this in order for it to be active. Now we continue to my boy Mega Swampert EX water users. Rise up here. Let me show you how much. Heavy helmet, there's only one, just so that way folks at home can see that. But here we have this deck here. I played this one just because I was like peeking around. By the time that you're watching this video will already be up on the channel, so make sure that you check this out in full gameplay. But this feels really good with Manaphy and Mantike as just your two rampers, and you don't really need much more than that as well. You don't need a Misty in here either. 3 energy is very quick to get to. So Mantike allows you to build up your Suicune or your Mudkip. Manaphy allows you to attach 2 energy to any Pokemon. So going first with a Mantike, great way to get your energy started. Going second with Manaphy, another great way to get your energy started. And even if you go first, you still catch up with energy, because you go, then they attack you, you attach, you have 2 energy. Now you have 3 energy on board. So that's like really nice there. And this card, Mega Swamp. Actually, before we get to Mega Swampert, Suicune is pretty clutch here. I feel like folks haven't seen this card a lot. It's from the Wisdom of Sea and Sky pack. It is 3 energy, 1 colorless, 1 water, 2 colorless, attack for 70. You clear out the opponent's Oricorio very quickly, so you don't have to like lean on your Marshtomp here to do it in 2 while taking 70 damage, right? Like that's a lot to deal with because that's going to get knocked out. So you have a clear answer for your Oricorio with this, but this allows you to take minus 20 damage less from that defending Pokemon. So this condition gets reset if they decide to switch out, but being able to take minus 20 is pretty good. Because 100 HP is pretty nice. That means they need to attack you with 120 on the backswing in order for you to be able to get knocked out in one shot. So being able to live and being able to do 140 in 2 turns is really strong there. And then let's talk about our boy Mega Swampert EX, 150 damage but discards 2 energy. So the whole point here with your 2 rampers, try to charge up as much as you can, right? Like that's the beauty part of it. Being able to get your Mantike and your water per turn, that's 2 per turn. Oceanic Gift is 3 per turn, and so therefore you just have more opportunities or more energies in play for this to get discarded, so that way you have less opportunity for it to get taken from you. 230 HP, I've been through this, is still enough HP where even if you do get hit twice, you're attacking for 150. If you can clear their Mon, like that attack makes you like you can take out that Mon, that's great, because then by the time that they come in with the next one, you can build up and attack again. What's also really nice, which was like crazy, is as unlucky as you can get where you lose 2 energy off of your Mon, they can also get unlucky and lose 2 energy off of their active Mon as well too. And I popped off with that a little bit. It goes crazy when you can secure that. It feels great. Obviously you losing it doesn't feel great, but you know, power up your energy so that way you don't have to worry so much about it. And your opponent honestly should do the same when they see that this is out here. Stack your energy as much as you can so that way your active Pokemon isn't really affected by this. Then we continue here into the Mega Kangaskhan Daycare deck here. You're running 4 energy generations. It could be 2 Magbies, 2 Pichus, 2 Mantikes, 2 Pichus, 1, like whatever number here is totally fine. We have a Tyrogue, we have a Darkrai, we have a 2 Mega Kangaskhan's. Professor's Research, Giovanni. There's 1 Rocky Helmet here, 2 Pokeballs, Cyrus, May, Red, Sabrina, Ilma. So I kind of like how aggressively you're attacking here, right? The double Giovanni can ensure that you're knocking out an Oricorio in 1 with the help of Darkrai, or just even like punching for 50 and then pinging with Darkrai once you find it is also going to be beneficial for you. The red here allows this 120 attack to be a 160 attack because your 80 jumps to 100, your 40 jumps to 60, which clears your 150 mons and you catch people off guard. And I know this because it's happened to me. And you have to keep in mind the second attack here that also gets boosted by these effects here, which is really strong here. My only thing that I might think about is, do I play around and getting myself making sure that I have a second Tyrogue here? And then also I do understand why they have a May here, right? Like you have all these Pokemon, but I think the fact is that you really want to ramp into this Mega Kangaskhan. Darkrai is great in some pinches here, but a lot of times your opponents are going to get rid of the babies, so you kind of want to use Darkrai as like an effective battle supporter. Then you Ilma your Mega Kangaskhan away, and then you can go in for the attack with Darkrai, right? Like you want to charge up, let them get knocked out, go into the Mega Kangaskhan, deal your damage, get knocked out, and then use Darkrai to kind of finish up or clean up, or even just reset with the energy and then go in if they've only knocked out 1 Pokemon. So I like Serena here, just so that way I can get into my Mega Kangaskhan that much faster to really just accelerate that, whereas the May might not guarantee the Pokemon, especially if I don't have like the 2, even though we have so many Pokemon here, don't have the 2. This just really just searches for this, so that would be the only change that I make here, but I really do like how much of they're targeting in terms of attack power here as well. But this is a really fun deck, a lot of good choices to make here as well too. And then again, Mega Kangaskhan is just a great card. we jump into Mega Altaria EX, who's still saying like, hey, I'm here, I still do well, and now I can attack for 140 with the training area stadium, being able to take effect of the attacks used by stage 1 Pokemon, does plus 10 damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. And that's just all about this here. And then this is interesting. We're having a different mix. People are still coming up with iterations of what basics to play with Mega Altaria EX. And so Chinglings are back here, but then they're being supported by the Tapu Lele instead of the Indeedee EX. And this still did work. When you're thinking about those who are getting energy or even ramped, right? Like just here, you're able to attack the Mega Kangaskhan for 40 in the back because it has energy attached to it, right? You're able, this is ramping up energy in the back. You're able to knock out some of these or chip away that damage, right? Like you just don't want to deal with it. So there's a lot of Pokemon who are trying to hide, who you can start taking out quickly, and therefore Cyrusing them back up here. The double Cyrus to do this and get them there is pretty a clean way of doing that, especially between these two Pokemon, Jirachi and Tapu Lele, outside of taking up 4 spaces with Greninja. And now you just need the 2 because you have Jirachi and Tapu Lele for it. Lucky Pop, I didn't see these in the other ones, but I get to talk about it here. Lucky Pop is a cracked card. At minimum, you're healing for 20. At maximum is however luck that you go. And using this on your Mega Altaria can literally change the game. You can heal 20. You can heal up to 80. You can heal up to even like 100. It's kind of insane. The card being flipped. I love the fact if you get lucky, it gets brought into your hand. If they could speed up that animation, maybe, or like you just keep flipping the coin until you do that. But I guess you might not want to keep using it, or if you fully heal it, you still want it back in your hand. But so I guess that's where the locus of control is. But if they can find some way to speed up the animation, but this one card can change an entire game, which is incredible to see that's just an item card. But similar shenanigans for Mega Altaria, still a very powerful Mega Pokemon. It's still going to see a lot of play. 2 energy, 140 damage now is gonna go crazy. Then we move into Mega Kangaskhan again. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is a new Mega to look out for, but you're now seeing it in electric deck. So there were some decks that were running just Pichu, Oricorio, and Mega Kangaskhan, and you're just kind of building that up into it. And this is just saying, hey, why not just make our opponents go through crap before we send in our big heavy hitter, right? Like I can attack you with my Magnemite, I can attack you through with my Magnezone, make you flip coins, make you have to wait out to the Oricorio, and then you can deal with my Mega Kangaskhan. Like it's just insane. And then the sweet touch here that I really like is this elemental switch. This elemental switch will sneak things up because you get the Clamont into Magneton, into Charge, into Swoop, and then you attack, and then you wasn't even prepared for that. It catches you off guard. And you like having surprise moments. Even though some of these decks are like these tournaments are open deck lists, you do see this out here, but you just don't know when it's gonna get played. You have to play around it if your opponent doesn't have it, and therefore you have to make certain choices if this is up and you're seeing something's charged up in the back. In a ranked ladder, you won't know what's in your opponent's deck, and this is a great factor, surprise factor in here, and being able to see this being played to boost up this Mega Kangaskhan EX into just like really only needing 2 energy to attack, or even just 1 energy. It gets knocked out, then flip up, and then you attach that turn and go from there. Will definitely catch your opponents off guard. So we already seen the power effect of Magnezone. We know the powerful effect of Oricorio. These 2 cards have been going hand in hand. Add in this colorless Pokemon that is hitting for 120 or 160 with the red, definitely takes you far. And then we see this, like, I finally got here. We finally got here. This did win a tournament. It's still not like it's not like it's nothing, it's not being forgotten, but it is definitely getting less play. Now we're gonna see if that's just because this is still a new pack, right? Like, it's the first weekend, people want to try out some things. However, folks were getting in their bag with Hydreigon, right? They were still coming back home to this. People were still playing Mega Altaria, and this just took a little bit. In like the 5 tournaments that I was looking at, Suicune only won 1, and then like 3 of them, Suicune wasn't even in the top 8. So who knows, but little upgrades here that's happening. It's just more healing is what people are focused on. In this deck, you have Lucky Ice Pop to continue survivability. You have Surviving Plains to boost this up to 160, which is massive. Like, that is a lot of healing there. You obviously have your NDDEX, and we already talked earlier about how great Lucky Ice Pop can be. So a little switching here. This is the deck that won a tournament over the weekend. So being able to see the additions in here to like make those changes is great. You still want to keep your 2 Cyrus, and you still play everything the exact same here. What's interesting to note is that you do not have Frogadier. So in case you have any item lock cards like Chingling or even the new Aquagalon, if somebody ever plays that against you, you might be worried there. But overall, I think you're pretty good to just kind of run through here, and you'll have an answer with that with your Suicune, which you're hoping to leave with anyways. Then finally, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but is Dark Tina back with this starting planes, giving us 160 and 170 health to start off right away, and then you really just want to continuously heal your Pokemon up front, right? Lucky Ice Pop, when you're really just focusing on the active, kind of goes crazy. So this is interesting. I'm curious to see how this plays. I'm actually gonna test this out to see if Dark Tina is back, and I don't want it to be, but this starting planes to boost up their health, the Lucky Ice Pop to like gain their health right back up. You go 170, you get hit, whatever, you do the 20 to yourself, but then you get to heal that up with the cape or Rocky Helmet or whatever that you need. It's pretty good. You start unleashing attacks on your turn 3, and there's really not much for your opponent to do from there. And this deck ran supreme. If you're like, what about the Oricorio counter, Ben? For those of you who may be new, well, between Rocky Helmet, Darkrai Pings, and the healing that you have in this deck, Oricorio does not last long enough. If we like take a look at this deck, there's no healing here, right? Like, so that is the unfortunate part. There's not a lot of healing in these Oricorio decks. Here you might get away with because you're able to get with an Irida, but that's only if there's a water energy attached to it. So that could be it. But let me know, y'all, what do y'all think of these decks? Which decks are you running in this first week already? Let me know down in the comments below. And if it's something that isn't here or that we haven't talked about, please drop the list down below. And if we have the cards, we definitely want to test it out and play it. As always, y'all, if you enjoyed the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and definitely hype up this video for sure. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.